All right, so we have David here, one half of the Dreamcatchers.
Yeah. And Rizo's the other side can't be here. He's out in Nashville, so all good though.
How did you and Rizzo meet?
Nothing related to music at all, actually. So fourth grade, we met at a school camp thing, Bridges thing, and you're supposed to pick partners. And he, me and him were the only two people left, and so uh, we ended up kicking it. And you know how it is at that age, like we just ended up at each other's house all the time. We both were really in love with music, and both of us were musicians at the time, anyway. So um, we lived pretty close together. So we were in each other's houses and kicking it 5, 6 days of the week for the next, I don't know, till 2011, 10 or 11, till you ended up moving to Nashville. So that's how we met.
Would you say that Rizzo is more of the beat maker and that you're more of the videographer, or that you both handle both of those things?
Good question. You know what? I think that a lot of people, a lot of people see me with the camera just because I'm not in a crowd making beats. Like I'm not in social situations making beats. Like if I walk around with the camera, that's what you see, so that's what you know, especially upon first interaction. But we both produce about the same amount. He might do a little bit more, but there's a lot of things that we both do that balance out, because he does a lot of graphic design, and he does a lot of different things outside of strictly production as well. And also, you don't see him at all, so it's kind of hard to articulate what we both do. But he doesn't do photography at all, but he does a lot of things that I don't do. Like I don't do a lot of graphic design. He does a lot of graphic design, web page design, and stuff like that, for flyers and album art, and even some photo editing. But as far as photography goes or production goes, that's still my first love regardless. But the goal is for us to, at some point, you be able to get everything done in one spot. Us be a one-stop shop. You come and you want to produce a project, record a project, get a project mixed, mastered, album art, market, whatever it is. We want to be able to, even videos, we want to be able to get that all done here. So we're going to continue. You're probably going to continue to see both of us do a lot of different things. So
Cool.
yeah.
What's your favorite track that the Dreamcatchers produced last year?
I would have to say Lux Bucket by Trig. Trigno. Shout out Trigno, man. I've always loved working with him, but that's one track that we kind of had in the bag for a while. I think that was made in 2012 maybe, and that was just kind of in the bag, and me and Trig linked up, and that was something he connected with. Next thing you know, ever since then, that's something he performs, and the crowd rocks to it every time. The crowd knows half the words, if not all the words, and he hadn't even released it yet. We just released the EP for that, The Difference and Lux Bucket, January 1st, but people have been singing that song 6 months ahead of time, and so that's something that I've been able to vibe to for sure.
When did you first pick up the camera?
January 1st of last year. So every year I try to focus on a new skill. This year's gonna be videography. And like I said, strictly because I'm not huge into the whole new year, new me thing, but I do believe that a year is easily quantifiable. You can take that, use that as a measurement, and break it down into months and break it down into weeks. And I think that, when you look at, okay, what am I trying to accomplish? Because January 1st, I started out and not knowing anything. I knew a little bit of it, but when I focused on that solely, 80-20 thing, and measured out what I wanted to do with it and how I wanted to progress with that until December. We ended December doing the Fly Paper magazine cover, which is dope, and I started in January. So it's just easy to to make goals weekly and monthly and things I want to accomplish over that year time span, so I know what I want to accomplish with videography from now until March or April, and be able to measure that. So yeah, that was January 1st last year.
Do you consider yourself the face of the Dreamcatchers while you're in Columbus and Rizo's in Nashville?
Good question. I think there is nothing I would do intentionally to make me the face. I mean, I'd always like it to be, I mean, the Dreamcatchers to be a brand, and we're just the movers behind the brand. But I think naturally, if you see my face all the time and you hear the Dreamcatchers all the time in the city and you see me, that's what you're gonna associate with. But I mean, it's vice versa in Nashville. You know, if I go to Nashville and I meet somebody, it's the same as when he comes here. Oh, you're the other half of the Dreamcatchers. I thought I saw you somewhere. You know, they only know him. A lot of people only know him in Nashville, but even still, there's a lot of people here who know him, but when they think of the Dreamcatchers, they see my face. It's the same thing in Nashville. So I'm actually glad that we're working 2 cities at once, because even then, he's able to work a lot of surrounding states in that area and local cities in Tennessee, and I'm able to do the same here. So I think it's I don't ever want to make myself intentionally the face of it. I think we both we both have a solid contribution on both sides, but naturally you're gonna think of it here and vice versa.
What's the long-term plan as far as the Dreamcatchers is concerned?
The long-term plan, global influence. Like I said again, one-stop shop. It's really hard to put a goal on the end term because I don't really want to see an end to it. I see a lot of progression. I have a lot of different dreams and goals with it, and a lot of things that we have under the sheets right now that, you know, we work on that we won't even reveal for another 5-10 years. But I mean, there's not a lot of things that we probably don't want to get in touch with us. I mean, we want to be able to use the brand want to go into clothing in the fashion industry and video and commercial industry, advertising, marketing, even things that are more so intangible, you know, to a mentorship degree. But that's, you know, way more down the line, where we have a brand that we're able to delegate and teach and have different things that are being worked on without our time and energy being spent there. But I can't really say there's an end goal, but I can definitely say that we're always and consistently talking about progression and what we're gonna do next and what we're working on now. And every year, every month, every week, we know what we're trying to accomplish. So I don't even want to use end in it, but definitely progress at all times.